Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're checking out String Theology, an original song by Octavio of Holostars English. I'm excited to get into this. I hope you're all as well. Let's hit play in 3, 2, 1, play. Ooh. Already it feels like we're going in with this kind of like stormy theme. We've got these like low percussive tones that are kind of like creating this rumbling sound. So that's um very representative of like a storm. It's raising this tension. Ooh. Okay. Ooh. Okay, very Power Wolf-esque. Okay. So I can hear the transition there. So we're gonna go into like a verse, but um, so far, just from this intro segment, this is like the first 1 minute of the song. So we're about a fourth into the song so far. With the introduction, we've definitely got those themes of tension. We're very stormy, like I said before, and then going into the vocals. First of all, that was a very cool vocal introduction there, and then once we got away from more of the effects and stuff, and we're getting more of his clean vocal. We get to hear that it's very theatrical. Very he's telling a story with intonation in his voice at a pitch. I know there's a specific term for it used in like classical music where you like speak to a pitch of music. I don't know if this would exactly classify as that, but it's still very theatrical. A very it's the showmanship of the song that's being presented there. Also, the second person as well, so it's very direct. Ooh, I like that guitar though. Ooh. Nice. Playing with the tempo a lot. Nice. Ooh. What is that synth there? All right. Okay. All right, hold on. Okay, this is a big switch up here. Um okay, that's second minute of the song. So we're about halfway into the song now. Um it's very chaotic so far. It's a lot of chaos in the mix. We have this very interesting synth track that I would not have expected at all with how we introduced the song. But I enjoy how it mixes into the other tracks we've got there. I think I might have I remember I said something about the guitar. I might have mistaken that. I'm not sure exactly. It was around here. I'm not gonna go all the way back, but I will. I'll listen to the song again a second time to make sure that I didn't uh say that incorrectly on the transition that I had mentioned earlier. But so far, this reminds me a lot of another cover talents song from Iris, "Moment of My Life" or "Moment of a Life." It reminds me a lot of that in the composition. It's very organized chaos. It has a lot of thematic elements where you have these multiple running tracks that are in key but not necessarily uh, organized with the same tempo. Really, they're not really keeping tempo with each other. They're kind of doing their own thing and then converging and then pulling apart. It's a very chaotic dance in the mix, which I really like. I really like how that sounds. But one caveat of that is that it does tend to make the song less catchy, and it tends to make it more of a performance than something that people really come back to and listen to a lot. So that's kind of like a compositional choice you have to make. And obviously there's always exceptions, but I'm talking a lot here. I have a bad habit of pausing and just rambling, so I'm gonna go back a little bit and then let's hit play again. Yeah, there's the synth. Nice harmony there. All right, here's the switch up. Okay, very musical-esque here. Nice. All right, very soulful here. Tempo switch up there. Ooh, two. We got two. We were speeding up with the tempo and then we pulled back, but we had a complete mood switch before. We were very like soulful, almost like jazzy, very much like leaning into that swing of it. And then we pulled way back after having that tease of a tempo speed up, which I'm assuming is going to be the next segment after this little interjection here. And teasing that guitar in the back as well. Nice. That vocal tonality there. That was really beautiful. I'm not sure if I went back as far as I wanted to. I wanted to hear that transition again. Let me come back around here. I'm sorry, I know I'm pausing and skipping back and forth a lot, but it's been a while since I recorded a video like this, so be patient with me, please. But I'm really enjoying this. So far, this has been amazing. There we go. Right there. See, we teased that tempo speed up and then we pull back. Nice. And then teasing the guitar there. Nice. I love those backing vocals. Okay, whisper vocals here. Ooh, nice. Okay. Nice. All right. Okay, speaking this more now. Ooh, that was the very moment of my life. Wow, okay. Oh. All right. Very Ooh. Ooh. No, that was the perfect place to. Okay, I don't. That was beautiful. First off, that was amazing. That was an amazing performance. You can't tease the guitar like that. As a guitar player. If you're gonna tease that and you're gonna bring in the harmonics, you have to have a solo after that. You can't leave that without a solo. But um, still, that was beautiful. That was amazing. And that ending, the closing vocals there, that really reminds me of a moment of my life from Iris. It's a very similar, but I should actually check the composer for that song. Maybe the music was done by the same person or something, because it's a very similar aesthetic there. But the song itself overall, I would not say is the same. It has a lot of switch ups that are performed really well. I'm sorry for pausing so much earlier, but we're gonna go ahead and do a second listen, but this time I'm gonna be pausing more. Um, so yeah, this was super awesome. I really like how we're using the piano almost as an echo to his voice sometimes. Almost in place of where a vocal echo effect would be. You get that reinforcement from the piano, and then we have those like underlying distorted guitar to add reinforce the tension of the track really, or of the mix. I really enjoyed hearing that. Let's give it another listen. Mm. This is a really pretty opening melody that I actually wouldn't have mind if we referenced this a bit more than we did, because it's a very beautiful opener that I don't think was as present as it could have been, but that's also a choice from a compositional standpoint you have to make, right? So do you want to latch onto that catchy lick, or do you want to explore the flavor and the atmosphere that the vocalist can create, which is this a very varied performance. And I think from the perspective of someone who wants to see a vocal showcase for Octavio, this song could not be more perfect for him. This is beautiful showcase of that. Um, but from the perspective of someone who's maybe producing for a song that they want to chart, or they want it to catch on, get popular, get on the radio, things like that, it's you definitely would want to hook on to things like this intro lick here, and kind of drive in. It'll be a little more repetitive, but you don't necessarily have to make it not complex. And from a production standpoint, that's just something you choose, right? That's a viewpoint that you have to go into with what is our goal with the song. And I think for most VTubers, like Octavio here, the goal is definitely to showcase the vocalist, right? And in that perspective of showcasing the vocalist being the main priority, I think the song is beautifully composed. It's done an amazing job of doing that. Mm. Yeah, we even get like a little bit of like you can hear we tease the guitar slide actually with the piano. Though you could argue that it's more so that the piano is more present. The piano slide is what's more present, and then we have the guitar reinforcing that with the distortion, so it adds more intensity to the mix itself. So It still catches me a little off guard with just the composition of it. It's very reminds me of Powerwolf a lot. Right here. I'm not sure which song specifically, but it's a very fun clash between that kind of operatic projection um and and that contrast with the more intense instrumentation there. It's very, very fun.
You find yourself at the gaping mouth of
Mm.
despair, with no recollections, no aspirations, and no repair.
I've noticed this a lot with Octavio singing. Actually, I don't remember what the last thing we heard from him was. It was literally months ago. Uh, but I remember thinking this then as well. He has a very, very prevalent tendency to just vibrato in his voice. It sounds like he's always like bringing out that vibrato whenever he has any kind of sustained projection, which I do not think is unintentional. I think it's completely intentional, and I think he likes that aesthetic, which is why he does it. And I like it as well, but I do think that in certain vocal like lines like this, I don't think it's necessary because the vibrato itself is a flare, right? So if you're always singing with vibrato the entire time, um it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it can take away an opportunity for you to use the vibrato to emphasize certain parts of your vocal lines. So it's an aesthetic choice, but personally, I think I do prefer when that vibrato is used um very in very targeted areas, so to emphasize those parts and those flares that you want. But because the song has so many switch ups and it is so varied in the different aesthetics that it allows Octavia to showcase, I don't think it detracts from anything by missing out on that opportunity there. I don't think it really detracts from the song in any way, but I do think it is important to note, especially for any composers or anything that he works with going forward, that if you want to have that constant vibrato on your voice, you also want to make sure the composition allows for that, right? But I mean that's a kind of obvious thing to think, but sometimes you may not really realize it when you're picking out a composer, right, or picking out a producer. Um, so yeah, I do think it's very much a stylistic thing that's individual to him, so it's important to note.
At the gaping mouth of despair, with no recollections, no aspirations, and no repair. Reborn as a hollow shell with a heart full of scars. Can't even ask yourself what tragedies colluded to leave you marred. Nowhere to go.
I love that.
The darkness is all you ever know. There's a glow. Thank you for your from
Those drums. Mm. I love that. I love that cutout on the instrumentation for the vocal the vocal spotlight. I do think the guitar is just a little bit too simplistic on that line there. But I mean, it makes sense because we have so much variety on all the other tracks, right? But I think with where the guitar is in the mix, it wouldn't hurt to give it just a little more variation, or at least have the rhythm guitar a little like lower, and then add a melodic guitar on top of it to maybe match his vocal line, or something like that. You could also match the other percussive melody there. But I do think that that guitar track does detract a little bit from the aesthetic of the instrumentation there, because the aesthetic is very varied, but then you have this kind of like blaring, like it's just these like blatant chords that are just repeating stagnantly. So I do think that from a composition standpoint, you can at least add a little bit more variation to that guitar there. Obviously this is like a complete nitpick and purely aesthetic preference, but I mean, that's what a reaction is, right? So yeah. This is where we start emphasizing that synth track there, which I will say is a very odd choice. That synth right there, but I do think it really matches it, especially since the line we're literally saying is future, right? So we're emphasizing as he's emphasizing the future, then we pull away from these more traditional instrumentation tones, and then we get more into that synth, and that synth kind of takes the spotlight in the instrumentation, which is a very, very cool lyrical awareness there, right? To have, as he's saying future, then that synth comes out past our more traditional instruments. I do think that's a very, very cool compositional choice. But for the song as a whole, I think we could have at least used a slightly different synth that didn't have such a massive like variation in each key. But I mean, that's okay. It's not like a big deal or anything. I love his vocal backings. And then the canon there with all the different backing vocals joining in. That's such a clean transition there. It's criminally smooth right there. That was beautiful. This is so extremely musical coded right there. It sounds like, I mean, this sounds like he's on a Broadway play. It's beautiful. And it definitely lends itself a lot to that percussive, right? And having that drum set kind of riding on the cymbal there. It definitely leads itself. I mean, it could be a literal ride that the drum set is using there. Of course, I don't even know if this is a recorded drum set or if it's like, you know, a digital one. But regardless, I do think that that drum set really, really emphasizes the aesthetic there. And of course, we have the guitar reinforcing that as well. Nice. Nice. Yeah, that was the transition I was talking about earlier, where we tease the tempo picking up and then we pull way back with the aesthetic change. I mean, the transitions are beautiful here. They're so smooth when we change aesthetics of the song. It's that's really hard to do. It could, because a lot of the aesthetic of that segment of the song there, it lends itself to the rhythm, right? The rhythm section is playing a big role in that. So we have to change that up, but still have a smooth transition, and the vocals are doing a really good job of doing that. But even then, just compositionally, it's very genius the way we slide in to these different segments. I mean, it's really, really fun to listen to. And I love you can even hear like a vocal track backing up those little rhythm keeping tracks. Just go, tick 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 tick, and I mean it matches what he's saying, right? As he's talking about time, future, he's talking about time passing, and we reinforce that not only instrumentally but literally with the vocal track, supporting that instrumentation that's keeping the rhythm there.
So the strings are never gone. Want fulfilling hearts are deserting. All the second act. And the broken, the
Mhm.
lost and abandoned. The beating full of fury breaks down.
Nice. Mm, nice. No, I love those. I love those harmonics there. The guitar harmonics. Those are beautiful. I mean, it feels very like I don't know, like Santana, Hotel California kind of guitar tonality there. But and the vocal tracks are very cool. I love how we've got this kind of like windy aesthetic, really enforcing that theme of change and time passing, and it's compositionally it's very supportive of the song theme, which is something that you really love to hear in any song, regardless of genre. Okay. Mm. Just listen to how clean that tempo change is there. It's so smooth. Like if you're not paying attention, you might not really realize how much everything has shifted in just those two segments right there. Yeah, this part is super. This part is what I was talking about when I said it's a very much like a moment of my life. Nice. Oh, right, yeah. See, I think it would have been beautiful if we just led into like a Hotel California style guitar solo right there. I think that would have been beautiful, and we could have let it out, like done a fade out. As cliche as fade outs are, I think it's fine if you're ending it on a solo. Um, but still, regardless, that's a bias as a guitar player that I have, I think. But the song was beautiful. Thank you very much for recommending that I check this out. This was in, this was an incredible song, especially one to come back to the channel with. So thank you very much for watching. I know this video ran a bit longer. I'm kind of experimenting with how I want to record these videos from now on. As you might be able to tell, I've changed a lot of my mic settings as well, and I'm thinking I'm gonna try to like do a watch like two watch throughs per video, but based on the time, I might just keep it to one like we were doing before. And I might just pause more throughout that first reaction. But let me know how you like the format of this video. This video ran quite a bit longer than I was expecting to, and also my voice is dying. But so I'm probably not going to. I mean, I'm probably going to try to keep the videos from now on a bit shorter than this, and just do like one reaction to the song with more pauses. Um, but let me know what you guys think. Just comment down below. Yeah, how you guys want me to format the videos. If you prefer how I did it before with like the 10 to 15-minute reactions where I just pause more throughout the first watch of the song, first listen of the song, or if you like this format more, even if you guys do gravitate more towards this format, it might be a little more rare still because it does take a very large toll on my voice, especially now that I'm less familiar with talking for such an extended period of time with doing these recordings. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. As always, feel free to comment down below and let me know what you guys want me to check out next. And yeah, we have a really big backlog of things that you guys all recommended to me 7 months ago, but I'm not sure how many of those people who recommended those videos are still here, and how many people are still interested in seeing my reaction to them. But yeah, just feel free to recommend down below, and if we don't get many recommendations, then I'll just dig into that backlog, and maybe I'll even do like a stream or something where we just run through the songs on that backlog and check them out, and then I can upload like the clips from that stream or something as individual reactions. But yeah, just let me know what you guys think, how you guys prefer it. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.